The battle over the future of the US Agency for International Development, or USAID, echoes a similar debate in Britain. In 2020, then Prime Minister Boris Johnson merged the Department for International Development, or DFID, with the Foreign Office.
This will unite our aid with our diplomacy and bring them together in our international effort. The Foreign Secretary will be empowered to decide which countries receive or cease to receive British aid while delivering a single UK strategy for each country.
Johnson's decision chimed with his Conservative Party's scepticism over aid spending, says analyst Tim Durrant of the Institute for Government.
Not always kind of aligned with what he thought the UK's foreign policy priorities should be. I think there was definitely a sense among those on the right of UK politics that DFID was kind of, a bit too big for its boots perhaps, or needed better oversight.
But the move shocked the aid sector, says analyst Mark Miller of ODI Global.
Because you now had a set of senior managers in place who were largely focused on supporting the UK's national interest, however you might interpret that, rather than previously a very clear mandate where aid was meant to be prioritised towards poverty reduction.
In 2020, Britain's aid spending was also cut from 0.7% of gross national income, the highest in the G7 group of developed nations, to 0.5%. Spending was redirected. Almost a third of Britain's aid budget, some $5.2 billion, was spent on supporting refugees inside the country in 2023. Aid spending also reflected Britain's geopolitical priorities, says Miller.
There was more attention being paid to trying to outcompete, let's say, China or Russia, particularly in Asia Pacific, trying to upscale investment in these regions where historically aid had been much more focused on Africa.
The creation of Britain's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, or FCDO, offers lessons for Washington as it mulls the future of USAID, says Durrant.
In the UK instance, there was a sort of reputational hit. DFID had a very strong brand, as does USAID. There's also the kind of knock-on impact it has on morale and productivity. I think this is particularly going to be a case in the US. But there is now a sense that the FCDO is the sort of the one voice, and that there are people who have both development and diplomacy experience who are representing the UK in countries where the UK is spending development money.
Durrant added that strong oversight of spending is vital to retaining public support for foreign aid. Henry Ridgwell, VOA News, London.